we've talked about renting versus buying, and that's one of my biggest things with my consumers, my clients. There, why should I buy? Why should I buy now? I just rent; it's cheaper, which it can be cheaper. But if you're looking at the big picture, is it necessarily cheaper?
I mean, I always think different strokes for different folks. I try to not make one size fits all, but I will say this: the most compelling reason that I think that most people decide to take the plunge is the exact definition of renting is building an asset or equity for someone else. So you're literally building a real estate portfolio for somebody else when you could be paying comparably, maybe a little bit more, but then you're also going to have tax advantages and all kinds of other benefits with owning and be building your own asset. I mean, I just went through this with a family member, one of my siblings. I was trying to get them to buy, and he didn't want to rent. He wanted to buy, but he didn't feel like he could. And we just kind of went back and forth, and he just said, I refuse to pay rent to build assets for someone else. So, I mean, to me, that is pretty compelling.
Yeah.
And the fact that a lot of first-time home buyers don't know that a lot of the costs that you pay when you close on a house are tax deductible. The interest that you pay on your mortgage is a huge tax advantage. And so, I mean, that's something that somebody would need to talk to a CPA more specifically about. But when you really look at the overall benefits financially, it makes a lot of sense. Not just to mention, there is a very different feeling when you're living in a residence where you have to answer to someone else versus looking at a wall and thinking, maybe I'll put some decorative paneling up. Maybe I'll change the color. Maybe I want to switch out these appliances with my tax refund. You just are so much more empowered. It's a totally different feeling.
I had a quick story. I had a client that was they were renting and they're wanting to buy, but they were still contemplating, should I rent? Should I buy? Should I rent? Should I buy? And so we were talking about it, and they took a long time to figure out that they wanted to buy, but by the time because we got pre-qualified in the beginning, and by the time came when they decided to, let's go ahead and, okay, I think I'm ready to buy, it had been a couple years, and they had priced themselves out of the market because they waited too long. So if they would have bought in the beginning, they would have had, and it was and I feel so bad too. It was right after the whole COVID thing, and then when prices just went up and everybody gained a ton of equity into their homes, and then all of a sudden he priced himself out of this, and he couldn't do it anymore.
I can't even tell you how many people I've seen do this, where when houses were under $300,000 for like a 3-bed, 2-bath, they were saying, I'm going to wait for the market to crash. And now all those people are paying $500,000 to $650,000 for the exact same house.
Exact same house, yeah. So that's as far as real estate goes, over the life of, we've been keeping track of this, I believe there was only 2 years prices kind of went down, but over the long term, it just goes up and up and up. So that means your equity is building. So when is the right time to buy? Right now.
Well, even thinking about COVID, I think that is the best consumer example that I can give to somebody is look at what happened to interest rates, historically low. Look at what happened to housing. So rates got really low and everybody decided, well, if I'm going to buy, I'm going to do it now. If I'm going to buy or build, I'm going to do it now. And then our market went up insane. I think that we were experiencing like we're
overpaying for houses.
30% appreciation at one point in some markets of Utah. But the thing is there's so many people waiting right now that are waiting for rates to drop. So when you think about that same logic, well, as soon as rates come down, all of these people that have been waiting, which now they are slowly trickling in because they are starting to kind of realize, oh my gosh, there's so many people waiting.
There's a lot.
Then when rates drop, the houses are going to skyrocket, and then they're going to be back priced out of the market.
And you're going to be going against all this competition. And the one thing I saw a lot of during that COVID years was investors or cash buyers were coming in, and they were putting 30, 40,000 over asking price, 50,000 over asking price, cash.
Yeah.
And my buyers could not compete with that because we were getting loans, and a better offer is a cash offer than a loan offer. So you're not only competing against other buyers, you're competing against cash offers now as well, which is just not in your best interest if you're looking to buy. And I always say too, don't look at the rate. Rates, it's just a number. Look at your affordability. What can you afford? what's your affordability? What's your monthly affordability? And if what your monthly affordability is, and we can find a home that will fit that.
Yeah.
We'll find that for you.
And get strategic. Sit down with a loan officer and really run through the numbers, because I like to think that most people will be pleasantly surprised at what they could do.
Yeah. Yeah. And that happens all the time. I see that all the time too, with buyers come in and they go through their loan officer and they're like, surprised, wow, I didn't know I could do this. I had no idea. And I'm so glad I did.
Yes.
I've got a great story about it, and I'll share it another time with them. Maybe I will share it.
Share it.
Yeah. So I had a client, and Jenna and Michael, if you're watching this, thank you very much. Close friends of mine, like a daughter to me. And they were thinking about buying, and they just got married, and they were unsure if they would be able to qualify. So she asked me, Micah, do you think we can qualify? I was like, let's go talk to a lender. Let's see what your numbers are. Went and talked to the lender, and by surprising both of them, they qualified. And they're like, holy cow, I cannot believe this. And the smile on her face was so huge. Like she was so happy. And we went and, long story short, they came from the worst of the worst slums of Manila, Philippines to now they bought a $500,000 home.
Good for them.
In Utah.
I love it.
And it's because they just went and checked their numbers. They did, again, they thought this is not going to happen. It won't happen. And if it does happen, it won't be anything we're going to like. But nope, they're living the American dream. They truly are.
Well, so much of everything that we're talking about is in people just taking that plunge, because home buying and qualifying is not a matter of if, it's a matter of how and what you need to do to get there. Because sometimes people will say, well, I don't want to buy a house for the amount that I qualify for. And I'll say, well, we could do a rapid rescore. We could get you up here. We could do this. If you could, change your income by this. Because some people actually have higher paying job offers out there, but they're afraid to take the plunge. And there's just so many things to consider. So I cannot preach it enough. Go meet with a lender and find out what's possible.
I'm glad you said that too, because a lot of lenders, and I'm sure you do this as well, is you'll look at someone's credit score, their financial situation. If they're not quite there, you'll give them the tips on what to do. Pay this down, do this, and we'll, shuffle some finances around. And then within 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, whatever it is, we can get you to where you need to be.
Well, and if they're not quite where they want to be, like, for example, one thing I've been pushing lately with people is they want to keep the house that they own and buy another house, but they can't quite qualify. So I've been looking at equity share programs for them, and I'm showing them you could tap into your equity. There wouldn't be any payment, but on the departing property, if you want to keep it, you're going to have to share any future equity in your departing residence with this investor, but there's no mortgage payment for them to give you all this money. And then it enables them to go on and buy another house.
So many different programs.
So many
ways.